Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explore Spinnaker. Spinnaker is a CI/CD tool, often mentioned as a CI/CD tool, but it's mostly about deployment. I have not used it before. I had a very brief 20 minutes exploration thing going on just, I think, a little over 6 months ago. So I know very little. I have a few assumptions as always, but today I'm going to explore, try to see how it can be inserted in my daily workflow. All right, so Spinnaker, this is their website, Spinnaker.io, and well, it's for enterprise. That stands out pretty much, and that was also my impression the first time I looked at it. Enterprise in the wrong sense of things. It's a bit cumbersome and heavy first time to use it, but let's see. I don't want to jump to conclusions just yet. All right, Spinnaker Summit, multi-cloud releases. All right, cloud providers. Yeah, okay. So as usual, I think I'm going to go through like a getting started guide or like a first timers tutorial and then see where we are. How it works, install, get started. Let's look at some conceptual overview. First thing, application management and deployment. Yeah, so Spinnaker tries to do many things at once. It tries to also manage your cloud resources. It looks into your Amazon account, or I think there is a Kubernetes integration by now. So you could follow your clusters, server groups, load balancers, and Spinnaker is used for blue-green deployments. This is the blue, this is the green. This is how traffic flows. I think this gives a very nice conceptual overview when you try to explore your system once it's deployed. So I actually like this UI bit. So application, collection of clusters, server groups. Okay, so these are the entities or the logical view from Spinnaker's side. An application represents the service which you are going to deploy using Spinnaker. Cluster, servers, groups, load balancers, firewalls. All right. So you can create a workflow. Start. Okay, so you are going to promote some binary, like an image from test. Do a canary deploy. Manual cutover or 30 minutes wait, deploy. Red, black, interesting. Maybe that's just a marketing thing. Tear down. All right. So you can define this pipeline, hopefully in like a YAML file or something. Stages, parameters. Yeah, so this is very interesting because it looks like Spinnaker takes control once the CI pipeline is done. So it doesn't do classical CI functions like unit tests, running, linting, whatsoever. It probably kicks in when the artifact to be deployed is ready and then takes over. So Jenkins job or some other CI tool calls maybe a webhook, or here the trigger is a new Docker image is appearing in the registry, or cron schedule. All right. Deployment strategies. Okay, so blue-green. Yeah, okay, this is just a marketing thing. I suppose red and black is maybe the Spinnaker colors. I don't know. It can do a rolling deploy and a canary. Alrighty. That is simple. Deployment management pipelines page. Yeah, I just peek into this one and then go to the getting started guide. Okay. So this is what we have seen before. This is a nice little chart, flow chart. Not as nice as Jenkins Blue Ocean, but it is something. I like it. This is the configuration with some parameters, some deep dive or details view. Okay, so this is these are the pipelines. Deploy to stage. This one succeeded. Promote to production. Fair enough. All right, I think this is just details by now. Oh yeah, and it's part of the CD, Continuous Deployment or Delivery Foundation. It's a new foundation consisting of Jenkins, Spinnaker, and a few of these larger enterprises. It tries to mimic the CNCF, the Cloud Native Foundation, in its structure or at least marketing efforts, and it tries to define some standards. It feels a little bit top-down, so it's usually the incumbents, the old players who are forming this. But let's see what they come up with. So it could be very cool. So Spinnaker has been around, I think, for many, many years. I think originally it was part of the Netflix stack with all the pioneered first cloud native tools in the Java Spring world. I hope I didn't say anything stupid here. All right, so this was the concept. Back to the first page. Installation, let's do that. Try it out. I want to set up my own installation guide. Set up Spinnaker. Machine on which to install Halyard. Oh yeah, I remember they have funky names for components that newcomers cannot understand. But let's follow this. Halyard is a command line administration tool that manages the lifecycle. Got it. There is a dockerized installation. I think I'm going to choose that one. Install on Docker. Docker C installed. I'm sure I have that. Oh. Version 1809. That's new. Let's make a folder. I might even have this one, so let's first. .hal. Does it mean I have it? I don't know. Anyways, let's do this. It already exists. Let's just clear everything. All right, and now I have hal. Open the pod bay doors, hal. I'm sorry, Dave. All right. This one starts container with the name Halyard, with the volume to the folder we just created, interactive mode, and they use Google registry. Nice. So, okay. Yes, so it's Java and Spring Boot. This could be a pro or con for some. I definitely enjoy these days the Go startup times. I'm used to be a Java developer, and this 20 seconds of Spring Boot didn't hurt that much, but by now I am sub-second startup guy. Never mind. Okay, in a separate shell, we just exec into this one, and I'm going to exec into this one, and I'm inside the container. Good. Command line completion. So I have a hell command. I do. And I sourced it. Good. I don't need this. Okay, cloud provider. Now, this is gonna be interesting because I don't want to make this test very heavyweight. So I hopefully can do some Kubernetes legacy or V2, whatever that means. So Spinnaker tends to or wants to abstract out the cloud providers, which is a nice thing to do. And choose an environment. I'm going to compare Kubernetes Legacy and Kubernetes V2. So what's the difference? Okay. Docker registry. Okay. I'm going to skip RBAC. Okay. I don't see it yet how it's going to come together. What's the manifest based? Good. V2 doesn't require Docker registry. Okay. Kubeconfig file, I can give you that. kubectl. And does this have kubectl installed? It does. Okay, so I'm inside this hell yard container. Service account. Okay, I think I'm going to create a K3S Kubernetes cluster like last time. And then I'm going to use that kubeconfig file and give Spinnaker the absolute root access or absolute super user access to that cluster. And I'm going to skip service accounts and RBAC. And I'm going to go with this V2, the manifest based. It's probably more future proof anyways. So let's just do the usual thing. I might even have this K3S thing running, or I could just projects mk. What's this? Spinnaker test. And I think I'm gonna just do the Docker Compose version of K3S. The K3S repo. If you didn't watch the first episode or the previous episode, K3S is a small distribution of Kubernetes, or not even a distribution. I think the K3S guy said he doesn't want this to be a distribution. He wants to upstream his changes. Basically, it's Kubernetes without all the alpha features and support for half of the universe. You don't need anyways. So it's like Minikube in my workflow, really, nothing else. So I copy this Docker Compose file. I'm gonna create the Compose YAML. Okay. Docker Compose dot YAML. Good stuff. What's wrong? I pressed Ctrl S. Okay. All right. So once I start this up, once I start this up, it will spit out a kubeconfig file. What I will try to feed into Halyard's Docker container, either copy paste, or mount it in somehow. Let's see. But first, I'm gonna kubeconfig. Remember. Okay, so this time it's not Flux, but Spinnaker test and kubectl get nodes. Okay, so it is up. Yeah, kubectl. So K is a shorthand for me for kubectl. I'm just that lazy. All right, so 4 containers running. That's okay. This one is running. I think I'm gonna do this in the background because I don't need all this output, and not work in this panel because I know that my face is somewhere here. So kubeconfig, export. Good, I have it. I have a cluster up and running. I close this one. Okay, I have this. Adding an account. I'm gonna enable the Kubernetes provider in HAL. Some things happened. Okay. Failure. Writing your HAL config to path failed to enable Kubernetes. And I have a stack trace here. Access denied. Should I do some chmod? Or because if I what's the path? ls /home Spinnaker .hal. It's by user 1001. How does this look on my local? It's Laszlo. I'm very liberal in these videos. Probably not a good idea. How about now? Touch. .hal. Okay. How about enabling it now? Okay, this is a success. It's funny that it's always about permissions. In the last video, I also had a permission problem. Okay, there's newer version of Halyard. That's fine. Kubernetes is enabled. No accounts have been configured. We're gonna solve that. Then add the account. kubectl. I think if I do this, it will not find my cluster. Current context is not set. Kubectl get nodes. There's nothing there. Okay, I am going to mount this kubeconfig just like I did before. I'm gonna kill this container, and just for the fun of it, I think I'm gonna pull a newer version of Halyard. Okay. Can I just... And instead of this, I'm going to edit this a little bit to add my cube config. So yes, another volume. It's going to be cube config, but maybe like this. So slash dot cube slash config. So kubectl will find it, but the other way around. So this is going to be inside the container. And this is going to be my export. Yes. And mounting a single file, maybe the syntax is different, but I'm gonna risk this one and just run it and see how we go. Let's do this. 2 volumes, pulling Halyard stable, and I'm going to exec again. Just waiting a little bit. Yes, it's not a Go app. You can tell. 700 megabytes. Right. Hope you have a good time. It's summer in Hungary. Super hot outside. Oh, come on. Finally, invalid volume specification bind must be absolute. Ah, okay, so inside it must be absolute. That makes sense. So instead of the tilde, I'm going to do this and run it again. Kotlin. Okay, and exec now works, and I have to repeat first the Kubernetes enable thing. Is it up and running? It is. Kubernetes enable. Success. Warning. That is fine. Now, how about if I do a kubectl get nodes? Oh, okay, because so this is my file. If I cat it out, cube slash config dot cube. So this is the file I mounted. That's good, but it tries to access localhost, which is inside the container. It's the container itself, but I will try to access my running cluster through the real IP, and I'm only hoping that the certificates will work. So if config, and this is my LAN IP address, and I'm going to, instead of cat, I'm going to vi it. Not found, fantastic. So I'm going to it here. Okay. Now just verifying. Okay, this looks good. And oh, and the classic certificate error. I could just hack it by not verifying the certificate. How do I do that? Cube config keep TLS verification. Don't do this in production, of course. Keep. Okay, so cluster server insecure skip TLS verification. Otherwise, how can this be solved? Use a real cluster, which is listening to the right address, not just on localhost. EKE, probably Minikube works better in that sense. So maybe next time I try it with Minikube. Get nodes. Oh, come on. How about I just search for this and see what people come up with. All right, I think I'm taking a break. A few ideas will pop up, I'm sure. Just getting a coffee, and then I'm gonna continue soon. All right, I'm back. As always, a little break helped, and I just reread one of those GitHub issues, and turns out a breakthrough was to specify a new TLS SAN, like alternative name, I think, service alternative name, meaning that my certificate that the Kubernetes server presents can be also validated from this extra address besides the list you've seen before. So it was valid to these addresses before and not to this LAN IP I have. But now I added this TLS SAN alternative name, and then I connect through this IP, because this IP is accessible from the Docker container, and now the certificate as well. So it was a long detour, but now it works, and now I can continue with the Spinnaker getting started tutorial. Root certificate doesn't matter anymore. All right, so I could add this context and then configure it with hell and my Kubernetes v2 account. That is fine. A bunch of things in the output. Success is on the right side. That's good. And you also need to run config features edit artifacts through whatever it is. I just run it. Success. Okay, it's not too bad. So I think I have a Kubernetes provider configured. And what now? Did I set it up completely? Choose. Okay, I chose a cloud provider. I have to choose now an environment. What's an environment? What type of The recommended path is distributed. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use the distributed installation. But what will other people choose if I'm running virtual machines on Amazon? I don't know. But who does that, right? Joke, of course. Many people do that. So I haven't deployed yet Spinnaker at all. I configured Halyard, which is the management layer, and now I'm going to install Spinnaker as a distributed HA highly available setup on my cluster. That makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to config deploy edit, and I think my account variable is not set yet. Maybe I should set it now because it's used throughout this tutorial. Export account equals my Kubernetes v2 account. Okay, and now I can do this. It successfully did stuff. This was just the logs, right? It ran in the background. Okay, so I'm going to watch kubectl get pods all namespaces, just in case we are going to deploy Spinnaker. I want to see it immediately. Okay, I did choose a provider. Okay, kubectl is installed. Okay, this doesn't apply. Liveness probes. Can't you just do this for me, please? Anyways, next steps. Persistent storage. I tried to skip that for now, but it's good to know that Spinnaker can store its state. Okay. So I can use... I'm going to use Redis because I don't want to set up any of those. So I'm going to configure storage. And then I can deploy Spinnaker. Okay, so I'm going to use Redis. You will use one of the S3 or whatever bucket solution your cloud provider has. Yes, I get it. This is it? Okay, so I don't have to run Redis myself. It will spin it up. That's good. Wonderful. Okay, deploy Spinnaker. I'm excited. I'm pretty excited right now. How it's gonna look, the first UX experience, gonna be interesting. Whatever. Love and death robots. Somebody's having fun. Extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile. Oh, that's a movie. That's the Ted Bundy movie. It just came out, I think, a couple of months ago. It was a good one. Zac Efron. Not playing a dude picking up chicks, but playing a serial killer picking up chicks. Almost the same role. Please just have a default. I don't care. Deploy, apply. Oh, come on. I'm sure you know what's the latest and greatest and stable. So you are on version blah blah blah. You are on version nothing. I'm going to pick the extremely wicked and shockingly whatever. This is funny. So I do this. Oh, it must be a very heavy call. Okay, so if I do apply, things kicked off. Good. Zillion minutes later, Google profile reader. I don't do Google. Interesting. This is a success. All right. And then I'm going to connect. Okay. No pods yet. Now microservices. Deploying spin front. Okay, yes. Spin front, spin roscope, spin redis, spin orca, spin all the things. Okay. It's creating, it's gonna start up. So how am I going to access this one? I'm going to restart the Halyard container and map out these ports to my laptop's ports, and then I'm gonna use my browser once these are running. But I think I can just stop Halyard because I can do that easily. And the Spinnaker container is still going to run. Things are a bit slow. I'd rather just wait. This happens when you have 8 Spring Boot web apps starting up at the same time. I remember a time when I bought a stationary PC just to spin up one project. It was a consulting client, and my laptop just couldn't handle it. Everything was up. And that's what I was supposed to solve, move things to the cloud, because cloud is fast. It turned out okay. Okay, so a few of them are running already. I'm going to edit this docker run command a bit. I can provide, I think I can, an environment variable, which was web count equals my Kubernetes. So I don't have to export every time I restart. Okay. And ports, 2 ports, 9000 and 8084. Oh, it's already mapped. Stupid me. I could have just accessed it. So I'm gonna run this again. and hope my laptop doesn't explode. And I hope my recording is still running. It does. Great. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yeah, it's a Spring Boot app. Yeah, I did like Spring Boot, but starting up 8 of them at the same time is maybe not advised. Okay, at least CPUs are not all on 100%. Only 50. And if I exec again, how about I'm gonna just visit this address problem. That's okay. That's deck UI, so deck is not running yet. Deck is up. Echo and front is not up. So one more time. What's wrong with these? How about if I probably, do I have curl? Yes, curl. Localhost 9000. Connection refused. What's this port? 8084. Gate API service. Okay, I need 9000. I have to run this command because this will create a tunnel, I think. It's not started yet. Yeah, it's an enterprise software, I can say, for sure. It qualifies so far. 6 minutes later, these are not up. Something is happening to them. Oh, crap. Time. Something is happening to them, or I'm just impatient. I think it generates some stuff. Yeah, so Spinnaker. Oh, connected. Great. Forwarding. Yes. Cannot bind address already in use. Okay. Maybe it's used by the right service. No, it's not. I'm going to restart this container and then connect again. Yeah, what I wanted to say is that Spinnaker and the company behind Spinnaker it's called Armory, and they just got $28 million to basically make Spinnaker a viable enterprise software company. It's certainly one of its kind, so even though I haven't seen the product, I think the niche it attacks is not very well served, and they are first, and they have the name. They are the only tool, I think, in this space, or as far as I can tell. So I think they have a good chance, even though so far this is a bit quirky. Oh, look, all my services are running after 8 minutes. I'm a happy man. I could have just started this on my server, which is running in a data center, having 12 cores. Maybe next time. Brilliant, this is forwarding, and I can just still maybe or my external IP. So why? So this one is forwarding. It's good. This one is running. Can I? So something is running here. And also on. This is odd. What if I curl? So it's not a web service. Connection was reset. Don't. Deck UI. If I cancel this, then nothing will listen here, I assume. Same. So it does reach probably this running container, but it doesn't forward. Let's close this guy and then try to do this again. This is fine. So if I kill the container that's supposed to forward things, then it's connection refused. I'm happy about that. Now it's going to reset. That's good enough for me. And now I'm going to connect all deploy connect. Why do I need this hell to forward the UI out? I don't know, but succeeded, killing all jobs created by this task. Succeeded, completed. So what now? Okay, I think I'm gonna cut the video here and gonna come back when at least tunneling is resolved. This one is yeah, all right, I'll be back. All right, so the tunneling was not working, and I found an issue on GitHub which described my problem, exactly what I I had, is that everything looked as the tunneling was successful, things were forwarded, and I could access, I could get HTML response back from the halyard container. But outside, I was getting the connection reset by peer or myself. So I ended up, instead of using the halyard container and using the forwarding, I ended up just directly using kubectl and the port forward two services. One was port 9000, which was the Spinnaker service, and the other one was port 8084, which is the Spingate pod. For a while I thought that the spin front is going to be the front end, but it's not. I was trying to proxy that for a while until I realized how the ports were laid out. Basically 8084 is Spingate and 9000 is Spinnaker. So right now I have the dashboard loading. So if I hit enter here, or just hit enter here, Spinnaker says hello, and that is fine. And then I faced a different issue, which was somewhat odd. At least after some loading, there was an error message, which will show up just in a moment. So this halyard connect, which was part of this getting started guide right here, this wasn't working for me if I was running hell inside a container, but I am using kubectl to forward. I'm gonna close the issue, which is this one. I actually added just my commands, how I get access to the UI here. There was some application not found in the logs that I saw in the front end, in the spin front logs. I don't think that's closely related. I don't think that it was closely related to my issue. So I'm just gonna close this tab and see where we are now. Okay, so this is the error message I was talking about, error fetching applications, and there is some error, some troubleshooting information available in the FAQ. That's not bad. Actually, I found it, the error message right here, and it was saying that my connection to the Spingate is not working, which was odd because I started forwarding that one as well. And well, when I started accessing this application on localhost instead of 127.0.0.1, it started to work, which is highly odd. But anyways, the FAQ was leading me towards this URL, and then that was forwarding me back to port 9000. And so this is the UI, and under the applications tab, I see all the deployed Kubernetes applications. It's not bad. Only a few things deployed here. It's basically the same as if I would do kubectl get services in all the namespaces. So I have applications, that's good. This is how far I got outside of the recording. So now I'm going to progress and just continue with the exploration. I expect further difficulties. So far it has been a bit of a bumpy ride, but let's just continue. So this page is fine. I am done with it. Backing up my config. That's probably not important right now. This is just a throwaway installation. And this is the FAQ with all kinds of error messages like the one I saw here. All right, so setup Spinnaker is done. And now I can configure everything else. Interesting. So overview. Image bakery. All right. So Spinnaker. Spinnaker's vocabulary is partly about virtual machines because it was made for those type of artifacts. Image bakery is image is one of the. It could be a Docker image as well. So never mind me. Enable security, continuous integration, enable. All right, let's just go one step at a time. configure artifact support. All right, so Google Cloud Storage, GitHub, HTTP Oracle object. I would use a Docker image as an artifact, so I'm gonna keep, I think, this one for a moment and explore further on. Image bakery. Okay, yeah, HashiCorp's Packer is a virtual machine building tool. So again, this is a VM-based tool, or at least it used to be. So I'm not sure yet how to use Docker images and pods and so on. There are Packer templates and other things. All right, what else? Secure Spinnaker, I don't want to do that right now. Setting up triggers. It can work with webhooks, and then you can connect your CI system to Spinnaker. All right. I think I have to configure an artifact repo, but maybe I do CI integration. That's cool. So okay, so my artifact will be created by CI. Source to prod. This is not how my workflow is. So I want to use my favorite one, which is drone.io, and I will click Jenkins because I think the integration is going to be the same. I hope it's with webhooks. So what about Jenkins? Pipeline trigger. Create a pipeline. Let's go to here. So I have deployed applications, I have projects. I will just create a project here. Project name, first. No email, application. None of these. All right, Laszlo and .cloud. I don't have an application. Do I have a cluster? Yes, I have one cluster, all the stacks, and I will be able to add the pipeline here. Save. Okay. Great. I have a project. And I have to press a reload here. Hello, Spinnaker. I like the logo. It's very nice. And the color scheme is good as well. Speed is not good. Again, I'm running this on my laptop. And I heard from friends that, and also on the Spinnaker website, I think that minimum recommendation for some of the components are like 4 cores with 8 gigs of RAM or something, just to run Spinnaker. All right, so right here. Okay. Projects. I have my first project, Video 404. You can't find any data for the projects first. And I think I typed capital F, didn't I? All right. Applications, project first. And this is annoying. 404 what? Maybe I will see it here. Projects. 8084, projects first. Should I create a new one? Project name. Second, owner email. Application. Okay, I will just pick an application, just maybe to please. Form. All the stacks. I will add a pipeline as well. No results found. That's fine. So I cannot create a project without a pipeline, but I cannot create a pipeline without a project. Save. Operation succeeded. Maybe it takes time. Let's clean this one up. So I will close this. And these are my forwarding windows. They don't have to be that big. This was my Halyard container. And this is these are the running pods. I'm afraid if I hit refresh here again, then nothing. Then I will see the header, but nothing else. So the pipelines will be under applications. I'm just hoping to get the applications loaded. User how. HTTP artifact support. Still loading. Some things are happening, but it's mostly my recording tool right now. So what's going on here? All right, I just have a thought that maybe I should use the demo environment from the Spinnaker website and not run this on my laptop, because it's breaking left and right and it is slow. So I close this tab. Okay. Whoa, look. Okay, this is the recently viewed projects. Okay. First, do the 404. How about it? If I click this one, what will happen? Oh, look. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. So I have the applications listed, and these are projects. Now this is an application. I'm gonna go to the core DNS. Okay, so this is the deployed infrastructure. I have a cluster, which is my Kubernetes K3s. There are 1 replicas, which is up. There is a version number here, and I could filter. That's fine. With details, Then I see a little more. Load balancers. What happens here? No, I'm not gonna create a load balancer nor firewall. This is infrastructure view. What are these tasks? Okay, this is when things are running. How about pipelines? Let's create a new pipeline. First pipe. So this is like a visual pipeline builder. These are my triggers. A webhook. I'm gonna trigger a webhook. Or just a webhook. Okay. This is a webhook. I'm gonna call this one. And I will add a stage. Type bake a manifest or multi-doc manifest using template renderer such as Helm. Okay, so maybe with the Kubernetes installation, baking is applying some variables to a template. Maybe not. Runs a concourse. Runs a Jenkins job. Okay. So it's not just Jenkins can trigger a pipeline, but a pipeline can trigger a Jenkins job as well. Manual judgment. I like that. Like yes, I rubber stamp this deployment. Runs a pipeline, runs a job, runs a script. I like that. We are going to run a script. Command is echo hello. This is our script. And this is a stage. I save it. Saved. This is my first pipeline. There are no executions. Start a manual execution. Notify me, please, via email. Berry chat. Not bad. No, don't notify me, just run it. Okay, so it's almost like a CI platform. I'm running a job or a pipeline. Still running. Task. Okay, this should be done by now. Okay, so this is like this task is like an audit log. Running, still running. Do I have an output source? The definition. All right, but it should be done by now. It's probably not intended to use like this. I'm gonna cancel it. Just testing. Stop running first pipe. Good. How about if I send a curl to this guy? It may be a post request. Oh, Hungarian layout. Okay, it should. Okay, so the webhook works. I can trigger Spinnaker pipeline, and that can do all kinds of things. See that? Okay, I will leave this running and see how far it gets, if it ever stops. So a bunch of artifacts are supported. Then you can bake an image. And I could see that I could build a pipeline manually. I would have liked if I could do this in YAMLs. But with this pipeline, I can notify things, I can trigger jobs, I can be triggered by something else. When is this done? Okay, maybe I will just stop this and reconfigure my pipeline with a different step. Oh, maybe I could stage type. I'd like to see a manual judgment. It's always fun. Hey, please verify the running app. Options. Does it work? Oh, so I could add variables here? Yes, I can. Nice. Judgment option, yes. Another option, no. If stage fails, okay, so it's a nice little workflow, what you can define. Not bad. Again, it would be cool if I can do this in YAML or something. So how does the pipeline look? There is a script, a manual judgment, and then just I could wait. All right, I will run it one more time to see if my script is done and if my manual judgment is shown. Pipeline actions. Start this first. Run. Okay, and details. Oh, nice. There was this webhook. And it's maybe I will remove this script because it's a never-ending one, it seems. So how about I do it again. Script, remove stage, save. Start, first, run. Ooh, I need a manual judgment here. Okay, so it's running, but the color is different. And if I hover it, then, hey, please verify the running app. Does it work? Yes, it does. All right, okay, so I can stop the pipeline or continue the pipeline. I hit continue, And it succeeded. All right, I have a manual intervention. This is not bad. I wonder why it doesn't see my services, because, or an ingress, or what's a load balancer for Kubernetes, because it sees the cluster. Okay, still don't have projects that are working, but I do have applications, that's fine, and I have a search dashboard. Okay, it's probably enough about exploration, just uninformed exploration. I'm going to look through these articles, or these little documentation pages, and then maybe look for a tutorial or something that talks about in a holistic way and guides me through. Because right now I have some ideas, but I don't see how this can be used effectively. So this is not storage. Okay, yeah, artifacts. Bakery. Okay, I could use a GitHub webhook just like with any CI system, and it could trigger the pipeline. So Spinnaker can be used as a replacement of a CI tool, although almost every other CI tool is just more handy and more to the point. And although CI systems don't know about the infrastructure itself, Spinnaker wants to know about it. It would be nice actually to make a canary deployment with this one. So maybe I'm gonna get here very soon. Okay, monitoring. What can I? Okay, it's just probably it exposes some metrics. So everything goes through this hell. This is not very cloud native-ish, because or configuration as code-ish, meaning I would like to be able to just provide the manifest. And I think I remember seeing Spinnaker without hell even on the website in this exploration. So maybe hell is not required, but I would think that's the most supported way of doing it. So okay, so probably there are some metrics. Fine. Canary support. What do I need? So for a canary, you need a metrics service, meaning it will make decisions based on some metric values, maybe error rates. Let's hope. Service. Okay, so there is one probably highly wired Netflix judge which will make a decision, and I could provide my own judge, which is probably a Java file. I actually like better webhooks. Again, is working on something which I'm very keen on to test. Maybe that will be the next one, which is Flagger, which has a very nice manifest style canary deployment. So basically you define a CRD, which is probably too Kubernetes too many people get inspired with these massive YAMLs, but you can define the canary behavior in a much nicer way. And you can even do Prometheus queries right in this one. So I close this right now, but I think if you want to do canary with Kubernetes, Flagger is a very nice up-and-coming thing. They just develop it very heavily these days. All right. Okay, so I have to hook up a million things. I don't think I can make this work very easily. Probably a few days of work. Okay. So I'm still configuring everything else. Close these guys. Yep. Additional features. Notifications. We have seen that one. It's very nice. There are many options. The script stage. Wait. Okay, so the script task that I was adding, or the script stage that I was adding to my pipeline, was not running on Spinnaker, but it needs a Jenkins. Oh, come on. This could be simpler. So that's why it was just spinning forever. Oh. Okay, so this wasn't obvious to me. I just wanted to make the simplest pipeline ever, which echoes out hello, and I have to configure Jenkins beforehand. Now, this is just too much hassle. All right, so my pipeline shouldn't have a script stage. What other stages there are? Just not new pipeline, but add a stage here. Oh, again, what useful things are here? Probably some decisions based on manual things, manual answers. Okay, I could. Yeah, but these are too rigid. I just want to have a script stage again, and I will use kubectl delete. Okay, so basically there are very few possibilities here. I can use one of the baked-in integrations, and I can run some very strictly defined actions or trigger a Jenkins job. So it's probably safe to say that Spinnaker is not usable on its own. It has to have a Jenkins somewhere, and you have to use those 3 or 4 supported ways of working. Otherwise, it's has a view on the infrastructure, which is nice. Although I didn't see it fully, because Yeah, so the canary, how would that look? I will look it up. Okay. Productionize Spinnaker. Configure scaling. I'm interested about resource usage. Okay, so nothing much here. So this was the setup page, right? Everything in setup I looked through. There are guides. What are guides? Okay, there are videos, code labs, applications, pipelines, getting started. Yenta. Okay, what kind of videos there are? So this is GCP. Okay, I think I can fan out. So it's like a workflow engine. These workflows could span hours and days or minutes and just wait for something to happen. That's actually nice. So compared to a CI server where something triggers the job, it runs, and then it's done in a few minutes. This one can be long-lived. Okay, this would be interesting to play through. Yeah, okay. So, user how-tos, the pipeline. Deploy a Helm chart. What's an annotation-driven UI? That's not what I was thinking about. Oh, yeah, so the bake terminology is retrofitted or forward fitted to Helm charts. It's the bake stage for a Helm chart is applying it's basically templating, injecting the values, and the result will be a YAML file. Okay. Okay, I think I'm getting close to wrap up here. I don't think I can make anything working, and I don't think that I want to make something working with this tool. I think the deployment space and the very last step of the CI pipeline is not very well served, and Spinnaker was one of the tools that wanted to serve this for a very long time. And because up until today, the deployment stage was the last step in our CI pipelines, where we were just using Helm charts or applying Helm charts or just kubectl apply or something similar. Now, in the last episode, we've seen Flux, where the deployment itself was just applying applying the bunch of YAMLs and moved out this deployment step from the CI job itself. And Spinnaker is also a tool trying to approach this very last step. And I'd like to use something like this. Manual interventions are nice, canary deployments are nice, although there are some newer tools in the block for Canary, like the Weave Flagger tool that has been announced, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and development is very active. I like that this one has a UI and I can browse my infrastructure pieces, although it's very inventory style. If I'm a developer, maybe I would come from a different angle. I would come from, maybe I just only want to see my applications, not all the things deployed on the cluster. These are just some feelings. Overall, I'm not convinced by Spinnaker. It probably serves a niche, and they have some happy customers and happy users. What I didn't like so far is the resource usage. The documentation was not very good. There were issues. Really, I couldn't really spin it up on my laptop. So it's not like an hour-long setup like with other tools. Or yeah. What else? I think we need a tool like this, but not in this form, at least not yet. Again, they just picked up some investment, and I'm sure they will spend it wisely, although leaving behind the baggage is often difficult. Like Jenkins is carrying a huge bag of different features and plugins which it cannot get rid of, and it's not a nimble, swift little tool which takes care of one problem. Spinnaker, I wouldn't use it right now in my projects. Maybe I will look for further videos in the website, and maybe I will approach some of my friends or acquaintances who I know who use it. But right now I wouldn't recommend it with full heart. So I think this was Spinnaker. Maybe just volume 1, maybe there will be a volume 2, but right now I think this is the conclusion, and I will keep looking into the deployment space because it's interesting, and Spinnaker, again, it's very unique, but it did not convince me in this altogether 2 hours I spent with it. All right, thank you very much for your attention, and yeah, see you next time.